boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and this is your Ryan Spann versus Nikita Krylov breakdown. I love this fight in the main event. It's a really good fight, and I don't think this is going to go past 3 rounds. I truly believe that. Ryan Spann and Nikita Krylov are proven finishers. I know Krylov's actually been kind of going to decision lately, at least in his last fight, but besides that, it is what it is. He goes to the finish, and Ryan Spann has shown to be a fucking power puncher. I really like this fight, and I think we're gonna get a good scrap in this fight, and I like how these guys match up because it's gonna be Ryan Spann's power versus Nikita Krylov's output, his awkwardness, and his grappling, and I can't wait for it. And I mean, fucking Spann has a good guillotine too, so you gotta look out for that. And there's no real story into this fight. It's just a fight to have in this light heavyweight division. And yeah, man, I really like it, man. I am not mad at it. In terms of the rankings, though, Nikita Krylov is number 6 and Ryan Spann is number 8. And in terms of the stats, Krylov comes with a record of 29-9. Is fighting out of the what's it called, ATT in Florida, age 30, height of 6'3", and reaches 77.5. Ryan Spann comes with a record of 21-7. Is fighting out of Texas, age 31, a height of 6'5", and reaches 81. So Ryan Spann is always gonna have those long dangly arms, you know what I'm saying, where he touches your chin, you're fucking done. Depends on how chinny you are though, so, but he hits hard. That is a fact. He does hit hard, and if he touches you could have some problems. And he's a long dude, and going into this matchup with Krylov, I don't know, Krylov is used to dealing with guys that are a little longer than him, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting. But in terms of like resumes and what these guys have accomplished, I mean, Ryan Spann, he just had one of the probably biggest wins of his career against fucking Dominic Reyes. But he has wins over Dominic Reyes, Ian Cutelaba, Mirsha Serkinov, Sam Alvey, Devin Clark, Antonio Rogerio Nogueira, and that's pretty much it, man. He lost to Carl Roberson, Trevin Giles, so some decent competition he fought back in the day. But man, he's always had these kind of fights where you give him a jump up and he fails, right? You fought Johnny Walker, you gave him that jump up, he failed. You give him Anthony Smith, you give him that jump up, he failed. And then that last fight with fucking Dominic Reyes, we all doubted him, and he hits Dominic Reyes with one of the nastiest power jabs I've seen in a very long time, and he smokes him, like with no grease, and that was a bad knockout. I was in shock. I was like, wow, he fucking smoked Dominic Reyes, and I was like, man, has Ryan Spann really arrived? Now, I don't think so. This is still the same guy that lost to Carl Roberson, still the same guy that lost to Trevin Giles, still the same guy that went life and death with Sam Alvey to a split decision. He's still the same guy even in the Johnny Walker fight where he showed horrible fight IQ, right? Where he almost had the finish, and he basically let Johnny Walker finish him after Walker was literally in Queer Street. He's a really good fighter when it comes to guys that want to grapple, and they want to grapple him, and he's a real legit kryptonite for grapplers. But when you give him a competent striker and a well-rounded fighter, more or less, he struggles, right? You saw in the Anthony Smith fight, Anthony Smith was able to withstand the power, was able to move his head, roll with the shots, hurt him, and then submit him, and really win and dominate that fight. And I could see that happening to him in the Krylov fight. Krylov, he just matches up a little different, but Spann again has that X factor that's his power. Now Krylov, on the other hand, he's a crazy mofo. He fights with insane intentions, and I'm just like, wow, like it's really crazy. But if you look at what he's accomplished, he has wins over Volkan Ozdemir, Alexander Gustafsson, Johnny Walker, Ovince St. Preux. He has a lot of fucking wins, man. Ed Herman, Marcos Ruggiero de Lima, Walt Harris. He's beaten some good guys, and he's fought some tough dudes, man. He's fought a lot of tough dudes, and he has a decent resume. He's fucking lost to Jan Blachowicz, lost to Glover Teixeira, lost to Magomed Ankalaev, lost to Craig, Mirsha Serkinov too. So he's fought some tough dudes too, and he's gotten caught in some submissions. That would probably be one of his weakest areas when it comes to his grappling game, is his grappling submission defense. But man, the guy went tooth and nail with Glover Teixeira. He gave Magomed Ankalaev a lot of problems. So even especially in that first round. So Krylov is interesting. He's good, but he just kind of chokes. He's kind of sorry. I don't know how else to say it, but and it's just a weird situation. But man, his last 2 wins, man, against Volkan Ozdemir, he showed a lot of good cardio, a lot of good grappling cardio, and some decent striking in between his takedown attempts. And then against Gustafsson, to get that knockout like the way he did was it was vicious. It was a vicious knockout, and I was just like, wow, what the fuck? I was like, yo, that is insane. But you know, I would say his weak areas are, I would say his striking. He does leave himself a little open, and I feel like a guy like Ryan Spann could find those openings. But where I think Krylov is going to have a lot of success here is the grappling, mixing in with the striking. You could see with a guy like Volkan Ozdemir, who's a power puncher, he got hurt in that first round. He got hurt bad in that first round. But he was able to weather that storm by continuously grappling him and continuously adding strikes to have him confused and to thinking about the striking, then grapple and have him thinking about the grappling, the striking, just keeping him on his toes and just eventually tiring him out with that kind of pressure. He won the fight. It's the issues where he fights guys like Paul Craig and Jan Blachowicz and Shurkanov where he gets caught, and that happens, right? But against Magomed Ankalaev and Glover Teixeira, he had a lot of competitive moments in both those fights, and he showed his echelon and how good he really is when he doesn't get caught. He's a legit dude. I'm being 100% honest here. He's a legit dude. Krylov is really, really good. So in this fight against Ryan Spann, I think there is an opportunity for Ryan Spann to catch Krylov with a shot, like an overhand, an uppercut. And then even in those first few minutes with the grappling, I think it's going to be tough for Krylov to really break down Ryan Spann. So Ryan Spann can catch him with a guillotine if they're dry. And I could see those two things happening. But at the same time, I think Krylov's pressure, his 1-2s and his high kicks and his leg kicks and his body kicks that he throws in there, I think it's going to distract Ryan Spann's, and Ryan Spann might go to a high guard, and then fucking Krylov shoots for a double leg, and he gets the takedown that way, and he just continues that process of that forward pressure. Now, he could get caught fighting stupid and rushing. He does rush sometimes for these moments, but if he doesn't get caught while rushing, and he can maintain that kind of chain grappling for about like three more minutes or 2 more rounds, I think he can break Ryan Spann and get a submission victory or a ground and pound victory over Ryan Spann. I think Ryan Spann would break under 3 minutes of that kind of pressure. So I'm rocking with Nikita Krylov by 2nd round ground and pound. I'm gonna say 3rd round ground and pound. He might go 3 rounds. But yeah, I think Krylov is just the better, more well-conditioned athlete. He's more well-rounded. He has more skills. He has a better kicking game. If I was to say what advantage Spann might have is power and maybe some fundamental boxing skills, but I would say very, very, very slight percentage on the boxing skills thing, because I don't even think he has that like great hands like that. But that's just my opinion. And besides that, I just think the chain wrestling of Krylov is just going to be an issue for Ryan Spann, and I think he breaks Ryan Spann. He could submit him too, but I'm rocking a ground and pound finish for Nikita Krylov in the 3rd round. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Love y'all and goodbye. It's your boy eBay, and I'm out of here.